Hi, Bless. Welcome to Mixdeity Studio.
I would describe Mixdeity as a whole group of collective artists.
I've met just so many incredible people, writers, actors, all types of different texts, that kind of thing. And it's just a really great opportunity to get together with creative people and share your ideas.
So I practice capoeira, I teach capoeira, and I've been having access to the studio thanks to Mixdeity.
There's an abundance of opportunities to be creative and to express yourself, and you get to meet some really awesome people.
Really got into this place because I was looking for a place to put my energy into art, music, and other human beings.
I see the membership as community and the opportunity to collaborate with some amazing, hungry people that are just looking to create for the sake of art, and that is very exciting to me.
One of the great things to expect when you come here to Mixdeity is everybody. Everybody's a creative. Everybody shows love. You come in and you get to mix and mingle with all kind of wonderful, great people.
Got introduced to the studio and I see, wow, I can cook here, I can paint here, I can record my music.
I was looking for a place I could get into and just fuel activist activity, have a place to foster meetings and connections of people that need to meet.
And there's all these classes and events and things that you can do. I immediately wanted to be a part of it. So I signed up, and now actually I'm getting to do my improv class here.
Whatever you want to do, really. If you want to play on the silks, you want to play some music, if you want to teach yoga, like what I'm doing.
This is an outlet for everything because you can come and network, and there's people here that does everything.
I mean, if you want to put together a play, you can come to Mixdeity and find everybody that you need.
You have access to some incredibly talented people.
No matter what it is that you do, someone is going to be here that you can do it with or that can help you.
If you're a musician like myself, this is definitely the place that you want to be.
It's amazing, and I'm grateful to be here. The reason why I'm part of this is because of the awesome community.
There's so much that I experience here that I've wanted to experience my whole life, and I can foster that energy in this one place, you know, with so many amazing people that are just like here.
This whole place reminds me of a piece of heaven, man.
You know, and if they're not here, all it takes is being like, do you know this guy? And they're gonna be like, yeah, I got you.
And I've been waiting to find like some place that I could go and just vibe out and meet other people, get on the microphone and just kind of do my thing, you know?
It's a safe space to create, to perform, to meet new people.
I love this place. Atlanta needs more places like this.
All sorts of people come here to hang out, to create, to explore art. It's a great place. Everybody should do it.
Express who you are, and what you want the world to be here. Create it and manifest it here in Mixdeity.
It's in the name, Mixdeity. We all are.
I get to learn a lot from people along the way to hopefully we can just keep that creative spark flowing between all of us and do great things.
No, I'm definitely a member here at Mixdeity Studio, definitely for life. For life.
It's a whole vibe.
Hello.
So I went up like, hey, what's your name? What's your sign? Would you mind if I buy you a drink? Your beauty speaking to my soul. Tell me more, I wanna know. Let me figure out where this goes. Oh, I know that we just met, but it feels like I've known you for forever. Let's ride off in the sunset. Let's make some decisions that make our parents upset.
So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Creative Drinking Club. We are here with Baby Rose. Cheers. Thanks for coming down. Looking forward to seeing your show. You are a member here at Mixdeity Studios.
Absolutely. I attended a burlesque show for the first time, and I met an incredible performer, and she told me that she taught here on Wednesdays. And when I came through and I had my first lesson, I was blown away. And then I started to understand more about the environment here, about the studio, about the full just room, the open church setting with the grand piano out front that you can just walk in and play whenever you just feel inclined to just come in, like the podcast room, like all of the things that are here that kind of like forge this creative energy. So, you know, when they say like you have to have motivation, like sometimes when you lack motivation, that's when consistency needs to come into place. I feel like this is a place where it's a safe space that you can be consistent and really just hone in your craft. This is a space where you can explore, like, just, you know, the outer limits of who you are. Yeah, so that's why I'm a member here, in a short summary, you know.
Nice. Actually, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I want more people to be members, so hopefully we get more people aware, you know.
Bless. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's do it. Which leaves this huge segment of developing entertainers and entertainment and events and ideas that haven't done it enough to be an institution, are too big to just happen at somebody's house. Right. So what we're doing is we're saying, okay, the Creative Drinking Club can combine a commercial space and combine the bar from your house into the same place. And what happens is we now have no incentive to try to peddle you drinks. We actually don't even sell drinks. You bring your own drinks. It's a BYOB open bar. And so what happens is the bar turns into essentially a house party bar. You always have what you like because you brought it. You can buy.
Not to mention you're not paying a markup.
Oh my God, 1,000% markup. So like just mathematically, just even if you don't like people, just do the math, okay? So it just opens up the space. And that's what the drinking club is for. Save you money, open up new artistic opportunities, and also get access to venues and resources. We also want to create a space for non-drinkers, so they can have mocktails and virgin drinks or sodas or whatever, like interesting things, like have some kombucha in there. We actually encourage people to bring interesting drinks. We say, okay, if you're bringing a libation or whatever you're bringing, find something interesting, find something unique. And we will also, we'll like take that and we'll post you on social media. Come, enjoy, bring in drinks you want to drink and share.
Yeah. Little mimosa situation? That would be great. Let's get you set up. Welcome to Mixdeity.
I'm Talanya, everybody.
My dad is in the Air Force.
The Valkyries of Arcadia. What do we got for beverages today?
Okay, so vodka is very extremely disgusting to me.
All right. Okay. We're going to go ahead and recreate all that magic tonight.
I really like the Grinch with the ooh, ah.
Talanya is one of my favorite people.
So I'm excited about that.
I keep waiting for the invite to the big show.
There's a like energy. I love energy. I like having.
Nice to meet you, Rock Talanya. Okay, great.
This is anecdotal anyway. So.
Hi, David Rams, photographer. I first came to Mixdeity in the church about 4 years ago. I just rented it occasionally for shoots. And then I got into a situation that I wanted to find a place to kind of call home. That was more than just a place to shoot, where there was like an artistic community. And I do better with, you know, a family. And I felt like I could have that with Mixdeity. So yeah, whether I was shooting or not shooting, it was just always it was a nice to feel that community of other artists. And in a way, it kind of reminded me of the factory. And I've mentioned to you, Rock, a few times about Andy Warhol's factory, and it was just all these artists would gather together and throw ideas out, and they'd be painting and sculpting and writing and taking pictures. And so many great artists, from David Bowie to Lou Reed, to kind of came through the doors of the factory. And I kind of see Mixdeity as being that same sort of vibe. They are artists coming together and vibing and helping each other create, and losing the egos and just helping each other.
Nice.
So I'm glad we found this. I'm glad you found this new home for it, which I think you'll take it to another level here.
If you didn't have a chance to come down to today's open house, that's okay. We got a little video tour for you.
Space number 1, the party bus. Space number 2.
Open up your heart, what do you feel? Is it real?
Space number 3, the classroom.
But I can't think of a better time.
Space number 4, the cafe.
Hold on. Instead of messing with our future, open up inside. Hold on. One day you will have to answer to the children of the sky.
I was stranded, left all alone. My team left me behind. But it wasn't done yet. Now we have to find out who did this. Fortunately, I'm a genius. My only chance. And I fix my spaceship. And then I'll fly back, kick some booties.
Open it up and start collecting points. It's just that easy.
All right, everybody, welcome to Takeover Tuesday. That's right, it is Takeover Tuesday. I'm your host.
If you have ever wanted to land a hunt,
I have never wanted to do that. Welcome, everybody. Hi, my name's Brock. This is Takeover Tuesday. Every little 5 points in Atlanta, Georgia. We are coming from direct here at the MEDIA Café. My name is Mixdeity, and what we do here every Tuesday is we celebrate creative of all types. We introduce them to each other, we interview them, find out about what they're doing, what they've got going on, and we look for resources and creative connections that can help you with projects, whatever that might be. If you are an artist, you are an activist, you are an entrepreneur, any combination of those, or if you are just a person on a mission trying to get things done in this crazy world we live in, then Takeover Tuesday is here to celebrate. I'm hearing that I'm not being heard. All right. Is there a sound issue, Gabe? Can you hear me? No sound. All right. See, we're collaborating. We'll figure that out. Check, check. Papa dee bop. All right. Hold on one second here. How about now? Also, brother. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Interesting. So that was the button that I didn't push. So let me say all that again, but I'll say it shorter. Welcome to Takeover Tuesday. My name is Rob Solomon. At 3 o'clock. No, it stopped again? What the fuck's going on? Hello? I really have to hold it. Oh, I have it on a short range. You know what? I'm going to fix that. All right, here we go. I am my own tech crew. I'm my own lighting crew. I'm my own everything crew. But I'm inviting y'all to join up. And then we'll all... What's that? All right, well, I'm getting different information. I guess I should just have a headset or something. All right. This is probably a great example of what entrepreneurship looks like. All right, if you're trying to create something in this world, then things don't go right all the time. And you just deal with it and you move on. What? Okay, thank you. Anyway, so you know what? I'm just going to get into it. Today on the show, I've got a few guests. We've got Amelia Beneke and Amazing in the backstage. Let's do a quick hello to them, and then we'll just go ahead and kick things up. Joining me now is Amelia and Amazing. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the show.
Hello,
Thank you.
hello.
Hello, hello. What's going on?
Just hanging out, just meeting people and doing stuff. We're gonna actually do a quick take 2, and there we go. I'm gonna just read. I decided to keep that with me just for fun today because we're gonna get to do a lot of redos.
It takes 2, baby.
Well, I'm sure we'll have many more takes. So today, I didn't get to it, but today, as you all know, we're going to be meeting some creatives, y'all included. We're going to be doing the Pitch Gauntlet a little bit later. Pitch Gauntlet is just a place where we can refine our ideas, make sure that they are understood by other people, because if people don't understand your idea, then it's not going to get very far. So that's the first part of the Pitch Gauntlet, which brings you into the Co-Creator Incubator, brings you to the Discovery Board, and then that's where we're able to help you build teams and develop your project, and then eventually help you get it launched and get you access to whatever you need, whether it's lawyers or investors or volunteers or technology, through community collaboration. Everything that you need is out there. Somebody has it, and the question is why do they want to be part of your project? What are you doing that's so great? We want to know. So we want you to tell us. But first, let's do some introductions. Amazing. Can you just tell us a little bit about you and what you do? I know you have a whole bunch of stuff going on. So just give us some introductions, just enough to whet our appetites so that people who would want to know more about that can find you and explore what you do.
Absolutely. My life's calling is Empower Caravan, building people up in their body, mind, spirit, finances, and finding a place that they can find their spiritual home. My calling came because all the things that I never had and that I needed, I collected over the years and started sharing with others. The Forest Oasis Sanctuary is the place where the magic happens. and it's available for others to have their transformations and birthday barbecues or whatever they need. And
What's
that's
the
what
place
it is.
called? What's it
The
called?
Forest Oasis Sanctuary. And then Empower Caravan is where we go to you or you come to us. And the healing is there whenever we decide that we want it.
So what is the difference between the Forest Oasis Sanctuary and the Empower Caravan? How are they distinct from each other?
That's a beautiful question. The Forest Oasis Sanctuary is a space that is fixed. It's a place. It doesn't move. The Empower Caravan is a human or a group of humans who move wherever we need to go. Because sometimes the people who need the healing can't come to us. So we go to you or you meet us at our house or we visit you at yours. Empower Caravan, we travel or we go where we're needed to help people build up in body, mind, spirit, and finances. The Forest Oasis Sanctuary is a physical place. The place doesn't move, but the humans do. And we go where we're called.
Gotcha. All right. So the Power Caravan's home base would probably be the Forest Oasis Sanctuary. All right. I got it. I figured it out. That's kind of like Mixdeity community and the Media Café. One's a place, one's a people. It makes perfect sense to me.
We're all on one alignment in this generation of rebirth.
And you're going to be, are you pitching an idea a little bit later on the pitch gauntlet?
I sure am.
All right. Let's, we're going to learn more about that later. For right now, I'd like to bring our other guest, Amelia, to the stage. Amelia, how are you today?
I'm fabulous. I've spent the day with lots of furry friends, so it's always a good time.
You say lots of furry friends?
Yeah.
All right. What? I think you're also doing a pitch later today.
I am.
All right. And let's see here. Can you tell us just a little bit about you, about your mission in this crazy world that we live in?
My mission is I'm not actively doing anything specific to fulfill a specific mission. Right now, I do pet care as a job, but spending time with animals has always been my passion. And, you know, being able to do that as a job has been really incredible. I also just love to be a part of creative things. So I love helping people out where they need, being a volunteer for creative projects. I paint. Yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, welcome to the LIVECAST today. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
I'm going to do a couple of house cleaning items real quick. We do a lot here at Mixdeity, so I just want to go over a couple of things to make sure that people have the basics. The first thing to be aware of is a little thing we do called the discovery board. Everything we do kind of revolves around the discovery board, and it's a little bit of it's a hand curated bulletin board in a cafe, but it's in a digital version and it's in a searchable version. So this is all populated by people who think that these things on this board should get more attention in the community. And so I'm going to just go through and I'm going to do a first person walkthrough of this real quick. So bear with me as I'm VJing and hosting at the same time. I can chew gum and walk and trip and land on my face at the same time as well. Haven't been able to get any traction on my resume for that, but you know, there it is, discovery board. Let's share it. All right, can you still hear me? Oh, look at this. This is fun. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna do this one. All right, so the discovery board. This is where it's literally exactly what it sounds like. It's a board where you discover things. Let's go ahead and have a look at it. So today's theme is the Fringe episode. So let's go ahead and look at the Fringe filter. But before I do that, I want to say what you're looking at here is activities, communities, and industries, all kind of lumped together into one thing. And that's the idea, is that we're a very action and activity based group. So we assume that if you're coming to deal with us, that you are trying to do something. So these are just ways to filter for the things that might help you do what it is that you're trying to do. So we've got storytellers, business, entrepreneurship, all things music, artists, freaks, and fringe, activist community, film industry, events and entertainment, technology and gaming, health and wellness movement, These are all just large categories of activities, resources, asks and offers, and ideas that you can search through here. So let's go ahead and just do artists, freaks, and fringe, and let's see what comes up on the discovery board today. Yeah, it's coming up with 1990s internet speeds here. Interesting. All right, so we've got, you'll see the titles here, right here. This is recurring and ongoing. We have events and activities. These are more like one-offs. Opportunities and gigs. So if we have gig leads in one of these categories, or opportunities like volunteer opportunities or grant opportunities, anything like that, it'll go in there. Resources are things that are just, you should be aware of. Like if you didn't know that this is a resource, it's a resource, and check it out. Ideas and projects. These are ideas that have graduated the pitch gauntlet on this very show. When they graduate the pitch gauntlet, they get here on the discovery board. And then the idea is that you can go through and you can watch these pitches and look for people who are working on projects similar to things that you're interested in, and we build teams that way. And in case you missed it, here are some things that happened recently that were on the discovery board that have been since, passed. So let's take a look. Let's see here. This looks like we've got the SFQP returns this year, their annual 11th festival. You know what? I'm not going to read into all this stuff. I don't have all the details, and I just want you to understand how you can explore it if you're looking for things like that. So one thing I will say, Little Five Fest, it looks like it's coming up here pretty soon. So that's March 29th. And that's going to be a bunch of, let's see what this link does for us. Yeah, there's a Little Five Fest. This is going to be March 29th from 1 to 8 p.m. There's going to be a skate demo, live music, vendors. That's going to be happening here in Little Five. Oh, wow, that froze. It didn't go. Oh, that's interesting. It opened up a new window. Okay, moving back. Presenting and narrating and whatnot is not going super great, so I'm just going to get to the meat of it. Final Fridays, that's something you should definitely be aware of. This is, can I get a big picture? There we go. That's a little better. Final Fridays, every single last Friday of the month, we will be hosting here at the Media Cafe a celebration of every month sprint of our activated and gamified community. So without getting into too much, I'll just say that when you tally points in our platform, come to Final Friday to get your new scorecard, and that's where we'll be giving out party favors and accolades and all different kinds of things to well, I guess you'll just have to come to find out. So there's more things going on. You got Takeover Tuesday, and I think this pretty much outlines it. So I encourage you to go to the discovery board and check things out there. Let's get back to the studio and check on our peeps. That pretty much that's I think if you go to the discovery board, you're going to be able to find out everything else. So I'm just going to stop there, and let's get back to the show. Amazing, Amelia, talk to me about Fringe. Today's theme is fringe culture. If you check in on, hold on, let's see what all of it is listed at the check-in on mixdeity.com. Check-in, boop. There, all these categories are listed when you check in, and Fringe says artists, outcasts, counterculture, travelers, off-grid, kink, etc. That's what has been encapsulated in our definition of fringe. And since today is the fringe episode, I'd like to talk to y'all and get your thoughts about that. What does fringe mean to you? And is the term fringe a how do you interpret it when people use that terminology? Amazing. Let's start with you. Or Amelia. It looks like Amelia wanted to say something. I'm just going to go with the flow here. Amelia? Yeah?
I was just preparing. I was just unmuting the mic.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever wants to go first, just go first. I'll let you all self-organize.
I was just going to say my definition of fringe is I think it's one of my more favorite topics. To me, the definition of fringe is those things that you have to kind of, you can't talk to everyone about. You know, it's not stuff that you can. It's not small talk topics. Those are things where it's like, oh, is this gonna be the kind of person that is receptive to this idea?
Okay.
And if you have to think that, then it's probably fringe.
All right, that does. Yeah, I could go with that. That seems plausible. I think Amazing is just having a moment right now. He's thinking really intently. His focus is just frozen. Well, I think that I've lived my life mostly in the fringe, as in I've never been able to make sense of, like, you know, corporate life, or you know, heavily structured lives, or keeping up with the Joneses, or any of that stuff that kind of whatever they just sort of depict in the movies is normalized. Like that to me, that seems fringe. That seems just weird and abstract. Like my life has been entirely fringe. I've always been living in the outcast, as a traveler, you know, doing kind of my own thing and setting my own, you know, terms in life, and regardless of what the mainstream seems to want to be about. And I'm pretty okay with it. How about you, Amazing? We got a super zoomed in. We can see you really, really, really well. I can see your pores. I'm not sure if you have maybe the best party. I don't know how your signal is there, but we can see.
It looks like you guys were like exploring the deep recesses of my nose hairs. I do apologize for subjecting.
They're magnificent. They're magnificent. See,
I
speaking of
appreciate.
fringe, the inside of Amazing's nose is very fringe.
I appreciate that. The topic that we're talking about, fringe, is one of my favorite topics just in the universe in general. There are a lot of favorite topics, but that's probably one of the best. And I'll start with a quote that many of you have heard, and then I'll connect with you a quote that many people have not heard. The original quote I can get it in time. There it is.
Was silence part of the quote?
Yes. No. Actually, silence, pure silence. No. That was what I was supposed to be. Okay, hold on a second. See, dramatic effect. It's definitely a thing.
Yeah, we got a lot of that on this show.
Hold on, what? Wait. It's worth it. It's worth it, I promise. Here we go.
You're stealing my lines now.
Thank you. Here it is. Are you ready?
Yeah. No, not anymore. Now slow down. Slow down, Speedy.
All right. You know what? We're going to do it this way. And we're going to do all that glitters, all that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king. Care of Tolkien in The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Snaps. I think that warrants a little bit of epic cinema music in the background.
It does. And the reality is that a lot of us think about the people who are on the fringe as if they're lost souls or there's something wrong with them, but not all those who wander are lost. And I think that so many times we're so consumed by telling people where we're going, that just because we're wandering doesn't mean we're lost. One of my favorite words in the universe is weird. And if you ever dictionary look up the actual definition of weird, you'll find an interesting thing. And I think for both of you, Rock and Amelia, this is the first time that I have ever shared this particular quote, as I am a collector of quotes. This was gifted to me not even 6 days ago.
Suggesting something supernatural or uncanny.
Exactly. So when somebody says, oh my gosh, you're so weird. Yeah, I am connected to the divine. Aren't you?
I mean, we're supposed to be. right?
Exactly. And it's funny because a lot of people, so I'm going to say this in my interlude. A lot of people consider being called weird as an insult. What is normal in this generation, in this era? Normal is you hate your parents, you hate your kids, you hate your job, you hate your life. You have more money. What is it? You have more time than there is money and more money than there is month? Or you know what I'm talking about. Many people normally, quote unquote, are not very happy in their lives. And I think that if you're weird, it means that you're actually excited about life. And I think it's a good place to be.
I do know some people that are like generally happy all the time, and that does seem a little weird to me, which is sort of sad. It seems like that it'd be nice if that was more normal, and that being unhappy was weird. But actually, yeah, I think you're right. There is a very normalized blanket sense of unhappiness out there, and that's a shame because it really doesn't need to be that way.
But I think that's where the awesomeness of being weird is. And then I'm going to close with this quote that was gifted to me that I'd never heard before. And I think it's really special that the three of us are sharing this together right now. So the quote is, "We're all a little weird, and life is a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall into mutually satisfying weirdness and call it love, true love." So that is my favorite, and that's my contribution to the conversation on Fringe.
All right. Well, thank you for that. My brain is only taking that in small doses, but fortunately, we are live casting to the world right now, so I can go back and revisit that because I'm sure it's deeper than I'm fully able to process right now. Yeah. I think it's a question worth asking for sure. I already forgot. Have we already gone full circle? Who went first? Did you go first, Amazing? Who went? Have we done you yet, Amelia? You've already been done? Wow. All right. So we've addressed this. So
I can always talk more.
That's right. We will.
I was gonna say.
But first, I think, hold on a sec. We do have to take, it is 3:45. So in 15 minutes, we're going to kick off the Co-Creator Incubator with, our, the pitch gauntlets. And we're going to hear a couple of ideas. You guys both have ideas that you're pitching, and I'm excited to hear those. And we're going to go through the pitch gauntlet and see what happens. Now, anybody watching out there in live stream land, if you have any questions about the show, any questions for our guests or anything, any comments at all, go ahead and just comment and on whatever platform we're streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and I think Facebook right now. If you want to interact with the show, this is the only advantage of being live, is that you can interact with the show. So we encourage you to hop on the comments there and let us know what you think about what's going on. Give us your feedback and questions. And in the meantime, we're going to go to our sponsor real quick. And I'd like to point out that we are our sponsor. So when I say that, it's really just us again. And I'd also like to point out that part of what we do here is we want to help everybody. Part of the Pitch Gauntlet, the Discovery Board, Takeover Tuesday, all of it is that we actually want you out there to also be your own sponsor. And you can be your own sponsor. You can take your idea and turn it into an economy. You can engage with a community that will lift you up. You don't have to just be looking for a job and then looking for another job and looking for another job and hoping to get whatever you can get. You can just create your own economy, and that's what we do here. We create economies for creatives. So we're just going to go ahead and have a look at this. Let's see where it is. Let's see if I got the button. Where's the button? Do 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 do. Here we go. That is a little clip from the Retro Spectacular, which is a event series that we did a while back, and we're going to be hopefully bringing back. If you like costume parties, if you like vintage technology, vintage music, all that fun stuff, murder mystery, swing dance, live jazz bands, all this kind of fun things, 1930s, 40s cars. We're hopefully going to be bringing that back sometime this later this summer. We'll find out. But I just heard back from a couple of our guests. We are actually missing a couple of guests today, so we're a little bit short on the team. But let's circle back, and Amelia, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you do and what I don't know, a little bit more about your sort of creative history and your take on things in general. You've been around Mixdeity for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have been
let's hear
around.
a little bit more about you.
I've been part of Mixdeity for 4 years. What I'm pitching today is actually relevant to how I came into Mixdeity. But my entire life, I was a very creative child. And that was never encouraged. It was always, oh, you can do that after your homework and after your chores. And it was, I feel like that's very common for a lot of people in this world. And then, so I kind of wrote myself off as in the creative sense, until I found Mixdeity. And Mixdeity helped me realize that actually my brain is much more creative than academic, and it thrives in creative environments. And there isn't one specific thing that I absolutely love to do creatively. It's more or less just the entire mindset that goes behind being creative that I think is inspiring and beautiful and very discouraged in today's world. But sorry, I don't know if you can hear the knocking of the dog's collar. But yeah, I was at Mixdeity when it was a different location, and I was able to do aerial silks there for the first time, and that was an incredible experience. Finding painting while I was there, someone had left paints, and so there was just some excess paints there, and anytime I would get the chance, I would be able to go around the neighborhood and find things that people were throwing out, and I would paint on them. And it became an incredible therapeutic outlet for me, and it's now something that I do very often as an outlet. Yeah.
That's cool. So that was what kind of got you into painting? Opened that up for you?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I have a very vivid memory of being in 3rd grade and painting this thing that I thought was so incredible. And everyone that I went around to was like, that sucks. And I remember that was the point in my life that I was like, never doing that again. Nope. Can't handle that.
It doesn't take much, sadly. It really doesn't. As a kid, when you're trying to explore different ideas, just like a disencouraging sigh or just silence, man, kids really magnify things a lot. And so, yeah, I think I don't think you're alone on that one. I think that's something that a lot of people have experienced where, a handful of attempts to show something creative was just shot down or shat on, and then they just, as a kid, you just say, oh, okay, not that then, and you never revisit it. And that's really too bad when that happens, but it happens.
Right. Because creativity is very much approached the same way that most things are approached in today's society. If there's a right and a wrong, and that's how you learn life growing up as a kid. Of okay, so this is right and this is wrong, and that's how life works. And so even in terms of creativity, that's how your brain works. Of oh, well, this was wrong, so I won't do it anymore. You don't really think much deeper than that until you grow up, and even then you may not have the opportunity to think differently, because again, we're only catered to in certain ways that are not usually consistent with being creative.
Well, you know, I did a big exploration on this, the like understanding why creative arts and business seem to be so in such conflict with each other, and I took I made many forays into the business world with the arts, and every time I got to the point where it was time to start making money is exactly when it killed the art for me. Almost every time. It was baffling. And they're really, as an artist, like your job is to explore new and interesting things, discover yourself, discover ideas, discover the nature of reality, whatever. Like you're in a perpetual state of discovery, exploration. And business is exactly the opposite. Business won't even touch you unless it already knows how the story ends. Everything
wants to know what works and what doesn't.
We don't want new ideas. We want it to be the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. We know it works and we want to repeat it. And it just fundamentally will always exist that way. And so, finding a happy medium is a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky. And I think that's really a big part of, why we exist, is to help with that, finding that happy medium. All right, we're getting pretty close. We got 6 minutes until we do the pitch gauntlet. How are we doing over here? Amazing. How are you doing? Can we hear a little bit more?
We are well. We are well.
What do you think about that? How do you navigate when the demands of business and the demands of creativity are trying to intersect?
I think it's a beautiful question. And my mind goes to a conversation I was having with a friend earlier today about, I don't know if you guys remember that 40s or 50s video clip that kind of was spiraling the web for some time. It's that song, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. And this idea of men against women, women against men, like it's like this rivalry. It's about siblings against parents, parents against everybody's like fighting each other, trying to claim their stake in the ground. And the reality is, we as humanity win together, we lose together. And if we would focus on supporting each other on the same team, because we are all on the same team, then we would understand that there are benefits and needs that artists contribute, and there are benefits and needs that businesses provide. And when we win together, we win, all of us, as opposed to placing each other at each other's throats. How can we have win-win-win-win-win solutions for all of us? And I think it's a question of perspective. Now, I'm going to give a very intentional shout out to a young person named Alex. I'm just going to say Alex. I'm going to leave it at that. And they had said, it's a difference in perspective. If you've ever been in a car accident or whatever, and you've been bumped, and somebody said, man, you messed up my car. What are you going to do about this? That's a different energy than, we were in a car accident. What can we do so that you and your needs are taken care of and our needs are taken care of, and we can both come to wholeness? It's a different question, and therefore it's a very different answer. So for me, business and artists benefit when the business is able to share what's working, what's effective, what art's connecting and resonating with people as they're exploring their voice. And in the flip side, business benefits when the artists are able to tap into their true authentic selves, because that resonates the best for all of us anyway. So for me, I see it as a both and, more so than a either or. That's my thought on my I won't say my 2 cents. I'll say that's my dollar on the topic.
How do you feel about that, Amelia? Do you agree with Amazing?
I was gonna say that. So I have a thing that is similar that I live by in my personal relationships with people. That is, I think a lot of people a lot of the time take something and make it's a me versus you problem, like you are the problem, so it's me versus you, and this is my perception of it, and blah 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 blah. And really what it is it's meant to be us versus the problem. The problem isn't its own entity. It's you know, when you have community, when you have people, the whole point is to be able to get through these problems as one. And I think we lose sight of that very easily when we're in personal relationships with people. But yeah, I like that analogy of like a car crash of like, it's like, you hit me, you did this to me, so what are you gonna do to fix it?
Right.
It's like, no.
Right. Amazing. I wanted to ask you, as it pertains to the Empower Caravan, which is a community, and the Forest Oasis Sanctuary. That's an example of a business, because that's a business. That's a location. You've got bills. You've got whatever. You have to maintain it, and then a community, and those two must intersect. And how do you what can you tell me about that? Like, you must have like conflict. Sometimes one or the other needs something and the other one, you know, has to yield, or what? How do you make those gel?
So I love the question. And what I find is, as Amelia was talking about earlier, open lines of communication and conversation. Hey, these are my needs. These are my abilities. These are your needs. These are your abilities. How can we satisfy all of us in what are genuine needs and necessities and availabilities and timing and skill sets and whatever it is. And then there's one of those, not every person has to be in every place, and not every place has to be for every person. So I always ask myself, when I'm having a conversation with someone, am I happy to be in that space, in that moment with that person? And does that bring me joy every single time I see his or her name on the phone? Or is it one of those, oh my God, I can't believe I'm getting a call from this name. It's like one of those, when you have that gut reaction, you're like, oh, I wish I didn't see that name on the caller ID. Or is it, oh my God, I haven't heard from this person in so long. Yes. Part of the question is, am I that person? One of my friends had said,
that's a really good question.
One of my friends had said, do people, when you're on the radio, or you're driving, nobody listens to the radio anymore, but when there are commercials on the radio, right? You're driving, and then when you hear the commercials, you turn that down. You're like, God, I want to listen to this. And when you hear your favorite song, you turn it up. And the question was, hey, amazing, when people hear your voice, are they turning you up? Or are they turning you down? Are they like, oh my God, I really wish you wouldn't call me again? Or is it like, oh my God, it's amazing? You have to ask yourself, how are you for the people around you, and how are they for you? And sometimes that answer isn't always what we wish it would be. But to actually answer your question, how do we manage community at the same time with business needs? We understand, are we aligned? And if we aren't, it's okay to just say, you know what, I don't think that this is working. One of my favorite quotes on planet Earth, of all the quotes I've ever collected, this person, I'm going to say her name out loud and all of it. Yo, Your Freedom Guide, an amazing human being right out here in the Atlanta area. I met her. And she has a quote that I think of all the quotes I've ever heard is one of my favorite. And it's, remember this, whatever you do, begin it in love, and it has no choice but to end in peace. And so when you're at a point in a business or a community or a relationship, or, hey, you know what? I love who you're becoming. This energy is not for me in this moment. I wish you peace.
I love that. I really love that. I think that that's something really easily not understood by a lot of people. I really love that.
It took a long time to truly appreciate the depth of her quote, but I love it. And it comes back to me all the time. So when we are able to just say, hey, that you're on your path. And actually, one of my other friends has said, like, you know how sometimes people want to push their ideas on, you know what, Amelia, you know what, Rock, you need to do this and this and this. If I was in your situation, I was like, oh, you know what? I love that for you. I don't love that for me. It's not mine. It's yours. That's okay. I love that for you.
I feel like we're getting a taste of Empower Caravan right now. I feel like we're getting a little flavor of that. But it is 4:03, so it is time to officially start the Co-Creator Incubator, the Pitch Gauntlet. let's go ahead and kick that off. I don't have any like soundtrack music for our graphic, so we're just gonna have to like all make music together. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
Okay. Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun,
There it is.
dun.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-Creator Incubator. I was supposed to also hit this button. Wait a minute, hold on.
What does this button do? Diddy, push that button.
There it is. Co-Creator Incubator.
Oh my God, we got it. We got it.
Happening. Let this happen. Okay. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the Co-Creator Incubator, let me give you a quick little walkthrough. The Co-Creator Incubator is exactly what it sounds like. It is an incubator where you can take ideas and projects and campaigns and businesses and you incubate them. You develop them, you cultivate them, and you eventually launch them out into the world. The Co-Creator Incubator is also that, except the entire basis of it is in the co-creation of whatever you're incubating. And it doesn't have to be a business, although it can. It can be anything at all that you find meaningful. Art, collaboration, crazy, the kind of ideas that you come up with when you're really stoned with your friends and you think, wow, wouldn't it be hilarious if this crazy, insane idea could possibly work? Yeah, those ideas, bring them. Bring your war-torn, childish, completely ridiculous, impossible to ever be a real thing ideas, and come pitch them here in the Co-Creator Incubator, because we will incubate anything that a team of people believe in. So if you could communicate your idea and inspire people to want to work on it, then boom, that's all you need to do. And by the way the Co-Creator Incubator works and why it's interesting is because when you come into the community and you help someone's project come to life, you put the time in, you put the effort in, you put the hours in, you earn points for that. And eventually you earn enough points that you can launch your own project, and then, yeah, they're free. And then you can, other people can earn points by helping you launch your project. So the idea is that we kind of skip away from this, oh, how are we going to monetize this? How are we going to fund this ideology by saying, yeah, this is just people working on projects together that are based off their own merit and based off of people wanting that project to exist. And when they help you with your project, they know that they're also positioning themselves for their own project to get that kind of support. So any project that you have an idea about that couldn't be done by just you, you would need other people to be involved. Try out the Co-Creator Incubator, because that's what we do. Now, step one on the Co-Creator Incubator is to present your idea. If nobody understands your idea or they don't understand it well enough, building a team or financing or getting, it's just nothing's going to work until your idea is clearly stated. So the first step in the discovery phase of the Co-Creator Incubator is something we call the pitch gauntlet. The pitch gauntlet consists of 8 questions, and you just have to answer the question in a way that the judges actually understand your answer. The judges don't decide if they like your answer or if they like your idea. It has nothing to do with that, only that you explained it well and they understand your answer. If you get all 8 answers correct, then you go on to this if you miss an answer, actually I should say, then you go on to the speed round. And the speed round, you have 60 seconds to answer all 8 questions with single sentence answers and have all of the judges rubber stamp say that they understood it. If you ace it and get a perfect score, then your idea graduates to the discovery board where people can explore it, discover it, and you can start building your team to bring it to life. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Our first guest, oh, hold on. I have to do my pitch gauntlet graphic now. Are you guys all ready for the pitch gauntlet graphic? I also don't have sound for this one too, so we're gonna need y'all to make some noise. Here it is. Dun 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 dun. Pitch gauntlet, la la la, scary. That's scary. Okay, let's bring to the stage our first pitcher. I think we're gonna go with Amelia here, and let me just see what the calendar says about Amelia's idea. Hold on, let me bring you up real quick here. Where are you? Oh, you are right here. Okay, so Amelia, you are on the show, and now I'm looking at your pitch. You said, no, that's amazing. Where's it? Hold on a second. Hold on. Multitasking. Okay. You're doing an event called Memories, and it's a Nick Hood memorial event to remember lost loved ones. Are you ready to take your idea into the pitch gauntlet? Are you ready? Are you ready, Amelia?
I'm ready.
All righty. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through 8 questions. And after each question, you have about 90 seconds to answer each question. And then the judges are going to basically say, yes, I understood your answer, or no, I didn't understand your answer. If they didn't understand your answer, they're going to explain why they didn't understand it. And then at the end of the show, we're going to do a speed round where you will get to answer it again and see if you can get them to understand it at the speed round. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the first question. Let me see here. Hold on one second. Okay, Amelia. What is your idea, and what does it do?
So my idea is going to be, it's called Memories. It's going to be a memorial service that is going to be in honor of one specific person, Nicholas Hood, but it is going to be an invitation for anybody and everybody who has lost a loved one to come and share memories and pictures and speak their name into the universe, keep them alive a little bit.
That's beautiful. All right, let's bring our judges on and find out if everybody understood that. Oh, Amazing, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, Amazing. Did you understand her answer?
I did.
You did. Okay, we got a thumbs up from Amazing. We also have Mr. Exit Flair has joined us. Did you understand her answer?
Oh yeah. I only caught the tail end of it. I'm sorry, Amelia. But I think what the concept that you have is has a lot of value, being that people's memories have a lot of value. Like we have a lot of, memories that we value spending time with people, and we like to commemorate that and keep it going. You feel me? So I think that's a winner.
All right, we've got 2. And then, of course, I have to give my feedback. Yes, as a judge, I definitely understood that answer. So, Amelia, it looks like for round 1, you have gotten a perfect score. Congratulations. Woo!
Woo!
Okay. Time for round 2. Don't get too comfortable. It gets harder. Okay. Tell us, Amelia, what is this idea similar to? And how is it different?
It's similar to many memorial services that are done for people. The way that I want it to be different is that it is not specifically for one person, that it is more of a community-based thing. And I want it to be less on the sad part. Of course, it's understood grief is a sad thing to experience, but I want this to be a fun, bringing them back to life kind of event.
Okay. I understood that. How about you, X? Yeah, understood that.
That's the best lead.
Okay. And Amazing?
Overstood
it. Oh no. Grammar notwithstanding, it looks like you got another perfect score for question number 2. Let's move on to question number 3. Who is this for, and how does it help?
It's for anybody and everybody who has lost someone that is dear to them. And it helps. I genuinely believe it helps to bring them back to life in some form or fashion. I think speaking someone's name is it's a beautiful thing when if somebody's not able to be there in physical form, they're able to be there energetically, and by speaking their name, you bring them there, and it's yeah, I think it helps to be able to feel like you're spending time with your loved ones again.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I understood that answer. Yeah. I'm gonna amend that to say though that I understood it, but you didn't mention anything about like the process, like whether this impacts grief or is helpful for grief, or turning grief into. I feel like there's more there. There's more to that answer. I feel like it was. I understood it, but I feel like it could be a richer answer if you really dig deep on that one. I think that it really can do a lot more than you're giving it credit. That's just my opinion. We're going to circle back to this on the speed round, but you still get my thumbs up on that. How about you, Amazing?
So I'm going to say this as a judge. There's a distinction between, is this a yes or is this a no? And is this was a yes, and here's how we could improve. And I guess I need clarity as a judge. What are we judging with or on or how?
So basically we just have to say yes, I understood, or no, I didn't. And then if you have something to add in either side, you can.
Okay, then I will say yes. It was abundantly clear that this is for people who've lost a loved one, and in specific, anybody who's ever lost a loved one. That's clear. How does it help? It honors the memory of that person and helps us to remember their most beautiful memories. What I would say on your side, Amelia, is that if I were to offer a word of how it could be added details, so for someone else, you might look at giving specific examples of, when I was a kid, I lost a parent. When I was middle-aged, I lost my younger sibling or younger person I didn't know. Giving some examples of the person that this might be of benefit to. That way you paint the picture of the diversity of people who this could be for. Because saying it's for everybody means it's for nobody. But if you can describe different people who might benefit from such a thing, that might be beneficial. In terms of how does it help, to build upon what Rock was saying before, I think giving specific examples of sometimes we just need to remember our loved ones, and that can be beneficial, and that helps us. Sometimes we want to remember the good times. Sometimes we want to tell people who never knew their story. Sometimes we have people who passed.
All right. Okay, Amazing. This is her pitch. All right, moving on. X, do you understand that? It makes sense to you?
Yeah. It makes great sense to me. I don't have anything to add.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next question. You ready for the next question? You got a perfect score, 3 out of 3. What elements are needed that don't already exist?
I don't think that there is much or of anything that doesn't already exist. Really, it's just an event for people. People exist. People who have lost people they care about exist. And that's really all it is it's going to be a facilitator for those kinds of people.
All right. I understood that's pretty straightforward. How about you, Amazing? Thumbs up. What about you, X?
Thumbs up.
Okay. 4 out of 4. Perfect score. Next question. What is your idea's relationship to money? And now I'm going to just I'm not going to post whatever preface is after you've already said it. A postmate. I don't know, whatever. I just want to say this is a very ambiguous question. This has come up a few times, so I'm just going to say when we're asking the question, what is your idea's relationship to money? It's all of the different transactions that may or may not happen. So, for example, is this a fundraiser for somebody? Is this a free event? Is this based on donations? Do people pay money to get in? Is there vendors there that are being sold slots to that are paying or selling things? Is this something that is there is no financial exchange of any kind happening? How is this thing going to be funded? Because something is going to need to be spent on something. So do you need to get money in order for the event to happen? Like whatever kinds of peripheral money related exchanges that could be engaged with this, that's the idea. Or if there's none or very little or whatever they are, how does this what is the idea's relationship to money?
Its relationship to money is that it is a free event. There is no financial transactions necessary. It's going to be sponsored by the Creative Drinking Club, And so I guess there is that. If you want to become a member, if you want to be a paid member, there's that. But for the event itself, no, there's no financial transactions or funding necessary.
Okay. All right. I understood that question. How about you, Amazing? Or answer, rather. Yep. We got a thumbs up. How about you, Mr. Flair?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right. And I did too. So 5, perfect score of 5, Amelia. You are crushing it. Crushing it. I feel like you planned this in advance. All right. Next question. What's your role in the idea?
I'm going to be the facilitator. I'm going to be just the person promoting it and making it happen. I guess my role is having the idea.
Okay. Sounds like you're saying producer.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna. How did that answer make sense to you? Amazing. Yeah. Okay. And how about you, X? Okay. And yeah, I got it too. You're the one. You're the one doing it. So you're the man. All right. So I understood that. Another perfect score. That is 6, I think. Did I lose count? Next question. What are the biggest challenges to overcome to bring this idea to life?
I think physical challenges are going to be just promoting it and making sure that it gets out to as many people as it can. And emotional or mental challenges is going to be being able to sit in your grief a little bit in order to attend this event or be part of the event.
That sounds fair to me. I understood that answer. How about you? Yeah, we got a thumbs up. How about you, Amazing? We got a thumbs up from Amazing. Okay, 6, perfect score so far. I think we only have one question left. I lost count, but I do know that we just have the one question left. So, here we go. Are you ready? If you get this answer, perfect score across you skip the speed round and you're automatically added to the discovery board, and then we can start building a team for you and get this project launched. And so this is the question. What does success look like for you and this project?
Success for this idea looks like definition of success for this, I guess, is going to be people coming that feel the need to speak the names of their loved ones and speak the happy memories and be able to live in or express the image of the person that they lost in community.
All right. I understood that answer. I think that's a great answer. How about you, X?
I think that's a great answer also.
And what about you, Amazing? We got a thumbs up from Amazing. Okay, Amelia, congratulations. You got a absolute perfect score here today on TakeoverTuesday.com and the pitch gauntlet. We are going to be bringing you to the discovery board. This idea will go on the discovery board where people can now reach out to you. And then the last thing we need from you, and this is a new thing we're doing, how do you want people to reach out to you? I'm just going to ask you straight on the stream here, and I'm going to type it in. Whatever you're comfortable with. This is a public stream, and it's being put on a public board and so on and so forth. So in order for people to, I mean, we don't have a lot of traffic, so it's not like we're going to get too many weirdos yet, but we'll get them eventually. So the question is, how do you want to be contacted? Do you want people, you just tell us, how do you want to be reached out to?
The easiest way I would say is going to be Instagram. And Instagram is just at Amelia Beneke, all is one word. It's just my name.
Beneke.
It should be on the thing, but AMELIABENECKE. Or if it's okay with Mixdeity, reaching out, if you just want to reach out to Mixdeity through whatever platform, then I can respond to it from there.
Okay, so
That is
you can-
not correct. You
see, I did it wrong. See, I knew it. See, hold on, let me see it. Let me fix it. It is, what did I do? It's right there on the thing. EMELIA
BENECKE.
And I didn't.
You were missing an E.
There's two. How many E's do you have in your last name? Wow,
Three.
there's 3 E's in your last name. That's wild.
Yeah.
All right, there it is. Corrected for the record. You can reach, if you want to work on this idea with Amelia, you can reach her directly on Instagram at Amelia Beneke, or you can reach out to the front desk here at Mixdeity, and we'll get you connected.
Also, we did not talk about the date for this. This is going to be on May 20th.
So that's soon.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is
May
going to
20th.
be May 20th at Mixdeity Media.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna have to fast track it then. That's January, February, March, April, May. That's 5/20. Isn't it supposed to be 4/20? Wasn't that the whole thing? 5/20. It's gonna be 5/20.
5/20.
All right, 5/20 it is. Okay. If you want to get involved in that project, find Amelia on Instagram or come check it out on the Discovery board. On the Discovery board, you can also leave comments, and you can reach us there as well. Okay. So first round on the pitch gauntlet, dun 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 dun. And now it is time to go to our next contestant on. Help me out, everybody. The pitch gauntlet. Bomb, 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 bomb. We don't have any sound effects yet. We're gonna have to get. Yeah, he's a music producer over here. Come on, you could get us a jingle for the pitch gauntlet already. He's shaking his head. Okay, so let's see what we have next. Let me go to the calendar. It looks like we have an idea pitch by Mr. Amazing. Okay, Amazing says this is going to be Abundant and Worthy, a web event. We hosted a group of EMDR session focused on helping people experience joy, overcome trauma, and feel abundance and worthiness in person. Wanting to offer this event as a live webinar event with appropriate webinar tools, tech support, and recording capability for evergreen distribution. And this is a event by Amazing. We're going to hear a little bit more about this. Amazing, welcome to the pitch gauntlet. We're going to get right into it with the very first question. What is your idea called, and what does it do?
The event is called Abundant and Worthiness Web Event Live. And the event is all about helping people to connect with EMDR, which is a special way of helping people to overcome trauma, and doing it in a web event, a live event, as opposed to an in-person or as opposed to a one-on-one session in a group environment where everyone is able to connect very similarly, ironically, to how Amelia's idea of it's not just about one person, it's about each of us bringing our own experiences into this space, but in a quiet way where you don't have to say everything out loud, but in the room, virtually, we're all able to connect and bring something that is sometimes very expensive available to more people who need this.
Okay, interesting. All right, X, did you understand that answer?
Yes, I did.
All right, do you have anything to add?
No, at this point.
Not at this time, Your Honor. How about you, Amelia? Did that? You got it. Okay, we got a thumbs up for Amelia, and I also understood that. Okay, good job. Ding, ding, ding. Question number 2. Amazing. What is this similar to, and how is it different?
It is similar to group counseling in the sense that being in a group helps people to understand and feel the similarities, whether they're spoken aloud or not, and whether we've had the exact same experiences, we can connect by understanding we're not alone. It's also similar to a one-on-one EMDR session in the sense that you are getting the benefit of that particular methodology. It is different because there are many barriers for most people who need EMDR to actually be able to receive it. And that includes insurance companies, that includes bureaucracies, that includes red tape, and that includes price. And so by removing those barriers and facilitating people to be able to receive what they need in a way that they can experience it, we help the world be a better place than it is today, going
All right.
forward in that beautiful direction.
All right, that made sense to me. How about you, Amelia? Yeah, we got a thumbs up from Amelia and X. Okay, and I understood that too. Okay, you got 2 for 2. Perfect score. Amazing. Let's move on to question number 3. Who is this for and how does it help?
This is for people who have long-standing trauma or even small things that have been weighing down on them for a long period of time. This is for younger people who may not have the attention span or other capability to come in person and sit still in an office or a cubicle or a medical building. It also could be for older people who have accessibility challenges or for other reasons. It's hard for them to come in place to a physical location. It could also be for people who are living their best lives, traveling the globe, and being in person somewhere is difficult. It is for all of us, all ages, all genders, all races, all languages, for people who have things that are weighing down on them that they can at least imagine a life where those things were no longer weighing down on them, and then they're open to letting some of that pain go and stepping into more joy.
All right. Yeah, I definitely understood that answer. How about you, X? Okay. And Amelia's giving us a thumbs up. Thank you, Amelia. So that is, how did you get like a thumbs up on your screen too? What is that? Is that automatic?
That's
I think it's like an iPhone thing.
Is it?
Because I know it'll also do it like if I do a peace sign sometimes.
Only when it wants to, not when you want it to. That is an iPhone thing. Okay. Next question. Yeah, you can snap for that. That's fine. Next question. What elements are needed that don't already exist?
The tech stack. So I have the Zoom, I have a lot of those things. I haven't done webinar tools in a very long time. I would need to explore what those options are. I would need to research how to integrate them into whichever platforms I end up using. And there are things on the back end in terms of like reservations. There's one particular piece which you haven't asked about yet, but in terms of payments, one of the things that I really want to be able to do is to do what's called an invisible funnel, which means that you RSVP, you attend live, your card is reserved on file, but I don't charge you until 3 or 5 days after the event, because I don't want people to be able to, I don't want people to have to pay for something that they don't know whether it's going to help them or not. But I want to make sure that if they enjoyed the experience and they actually attended, they are able to contribute what is valuable.
You're jumping ahead a little bit. This is just what elements. Just tell us literally the elements.
The elements are the web platform that can handle that kind of a transaction. That's the element that's missing.
Okay, so you need some technology.
Correct.
Okay. I probably shouldn't have interrupted, but I guess I did. So did I understand that answer? Yes, now I did after interrupting. And how about you, X?
I understood. Yeah.
X has got it. He knows what's going on. Amelia, did that one come through? Yep. Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. Well, then let's go ahead and get to that next question, which you were hopping up to is what is your ideas relationship to money? Now let's talk about that.
So the idea of this is that the live webinar is available for people to be able to experience EMDR in a group setting in an accessible way, no matter where you are. And the benefit of that is that the contribution is lower than it would have to be if it was in person. And it takes away the risk and the, oh my God, what happens if I do this another service that doesn't work and I paid money and I lost money? So I'm trying to take away the risk from the money, but I'm also trying to make sure that as healers, we often allow ourselves to be hurt by helping without being exchanged, compensated for the time, the value, the love, the care, and the compassion that we share. So minimizing the risks, ensuring that proper value exchange happens, and it is a paid service, and the evergreen will be able to be offered at a lesser value, or a lesser cost, I should say, higher value, because we were able to have people who were in a financial position to pay full price for it, or after that, they're then able, people who are in a financially struggling situation can access the recording in perpetuity for the rest of time at a discounted rate or a lesser value, lesser price cost, so that people can actually continue to benefit. And in the world that I come from, there was a word called sadaqah jariyah, everlasting charity. And it's something that you do once that continues to help others for a lifetime, such as building a hospital or a church or whatever, or also planting a tree. Once you plant the tree, you've done the work, and it is helping to feed people for the rest of time. And so that, in my world, is the relationship with money for this particular event.
All right. Sounds to me like you're talking about sort of a sliding scale and a way of people to kind of decide their own, like how much it impacted them. I think I'm understanding that right. Does that make sense to you, X?
That makes pretty good sense to me.
You've got X's stamp of approval, and here's the stickler. Amelia, what do you think about this guy?
So it makes sense to me. I just have like one question.
Aha! All right, we have some. Yeah.
I was just wondering. So I understand the entire process. Would you then contact the people afterwards to find out if they felt fulfilled after it, or how would the transaction go afterwards to decide what people are charged and what people are, that kind of thing?
Okay, we're not going to answer that now. That's saved for the speed round. But Amazing, did you understand her question?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We're going to revisit that on the speed round. All right. So almost a perfect score, but not quite. I told you, she's a stickler. You cannot get past this one. She's tough. She's tough. I'm just messing with you. So that's okay, because we need a speed round anyway. Yeah, I would say also, like, I think I get it, but it's not fully clear. I will say that. I don't think that it's as clear as it could be. So let's move on to the next question. We got, hold on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5. And now we are on question number 6. What is your role in the idea, Amazing?
I'm the person who is setting up the back end, hosting the event, doing the outreach, and then facilitating the process when it happens, and also partnering with others to invite so that others can attend and benefit, and then hopefully sharing and distributing after for continued benefit. So producer, I think, is the word you used before.
Okay, so like the main person doing, kind of holding it all together. That tracks. Yeah. Man knows what a producer is. How about yep, we got a thumbs up. Okay, and I also makes sense to not. It's not me. This is me. I also get what that is to be that guy. So, boom, you ding ding ding. Next question. Now we are on question number 7. You have 6 out of 7. Perfect, almost perfect score. What are the biggest challenges to overcome?
Finding the appropriate tech stack that plays nice with all my other tech stack, inviting people, getting the word out, ensuring that the people who attend, not ensuring, but hopefully screening the people so that those who come are in a vibration of openness to receive the healing, and then answering the question that Amelia asked, finding that way for what does that system look like after the fact, in terms of when people, I have some ideas, but ironing out the kinks in those approaches and finding what actually works.
Okay, so I think I understood that. Yeah, I think I understand that one. I do. I know it's finding people and vetting people is a big deal. That's definitely a challenge sometimes. What do you think about his answer?
Yeah, gathering personnel is probably one of the hardest jobs to do. It's one thing to keep up with yourself, but it's another thing to have to keep up with, a lot of different people that are part of the crew and stuff like that to help make this work. So, yep, you got your work cut out for you, and
I can see the pain in your eyes. This is great. Okay. I know too much. I totally PTSD. How about you, Amelia? Yeah, we got a thumbs up. You understood that, and I understood that too. Okay. 7 out of 8, almost a perfect score. We got one more question for you, and this is the big one. What does success look like for this idea? What is your definition of success for this idea? Amazing.
For me, success looks like the people who attend truly enjoy the experience of EMDR and feel a relief that they didn't know was possible and are grateful for it, and that the financial compensation and investment that comes back the day of the event is sufficient to cover most, if not all, of the costs of production, and that the everlasting revenue from the after allows a sustainable source that can help contribute to future charitable events and services for more people for more time.
All right. I think I understood that. Yeah, so essentially it can have a future and sustainability, and that makes a lot of sense to me. How about you, X?
Oh, yeah.
X says, oh, yeah, like the Kool-Aid man. And we got 2 thumbs up. Oh, my gosh. And an explosion, fireworks, all kinds of craziness is going on. Amelia's having another schizophrenic episode. Somebody get in there. Clear. Stat.
We love Apple. It does what it wants to do whenever it wants to do it. See, it didn't do it again.
This is just the world we live in now. Robots have taken control. We're just here for the ride, I think. Okay. Good job. Very good job. You got 7 out of 8 questions. Perfect. We just had that one. And let's revisit that one. What was the one question that people had some confusion on? It was number 5, I think. It was the relationship to money, or the elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it was relationship to money. Or it was elements needed that don't already exist. Was that the one?
No, it was the money one.
It was the money one. Okay, and can you elaborate a little again about what your confusion was on that?
Well, Amazing kind of proceeded to answer it a little bit in one of his later answers, but I was just wondering what the process would look like in order to find out which people felt like they got something out of it after the thing, or which people didn't, and how to decipher, payments in that sense.
Okay. You can respond to that if you like, Amazing, a little bit.
Okay, I do have an answer. So the operating assumption would be when someone signs up, they know what the price is. And when we build it on the back end on Stripe or whatever platform, there's a 4 to 5 day delay in charging the card. So they reserve their card, and after 4 or 5 days, and the process is, hey, if you felt like this was not fulfilling for you, email me, and without shadow of a doubt, we will cancel the transaction. How to make that also pay what you can or pay what you feel it was worth, that part is what I need to explore. But also it could just be, hey, this is the cost. If you feel it wasn't worth that for you, email us, we'll cancel that. And if you feel like it was worth less or more, you can do a separate transaction. That might be the workaround for that. But that is a tech stack question that I'm thinking about.
Can I throw a suggestion in on that one?
Absolutely.
So this format is very similar to the street performers format. Street performer essentially goes out there, does their thing. They explain the need to make sure that people understand that it's important to contribute financially, but they also explained that it's something that everybody has a different value point and everybody has a different economy, that they are the ones who has to determine what that contribution is. They do the big show, they do the big finale, and then they essentially put out the receptacle to get money. They put out the hats, or they go around the crowd, or whatever, and they make it easy for people to just pay. Could you do something in your system where essentially, the closing part of the when the event ends, there's essentially like a pay portal at that point to just pick, like some people will be like, oh, this was great, this is amazing, this is the most amazing thing I've ever done. Other people might be like, well, it was okay. And other people maybe just didn't get it. And at that point, would that be an ideal time for them to be deciding when or how much to pay? Or is that undermine the goal of, or the spirit of the event, to do it, at the end, like you would as a street performer?
It's actually not a terrible idea. It's a pretty good idea. What I would say is I'd probably do it as a both and I would probably do it as there are some people who, honestly speaking, it's easier to collect the information at the beginning when they RSVP, just speaking directly. And then at the other end, if they feel like, what if I don't like this? I would also want to make sure that people who RSVP and they blow it off, because I've had a lot of no-shows to not only counseling sessions, but just things in general, where people say they're going to come, oh, I didn't come, therefore I'm not going to pay. And then you have skewed numbers of how are you able to serve people when they don't show up when they're supposed to. When people don't put skin in the game, they also don't often value the time or the responsibility or the gravity of what it is that we're doing. And the opportunity for tips as you would at the end of the event is another blessing and another opportunity. And also it enables people to contribute more than they may have thought that they would.
Okay.
And I think that I'm going to be, actually, I don't think anything. I know that I have lived a very long life of hoping that people would contribute for abundance. And also I think that it's important that we understand the importance of the time that we bring and the energy that we bring. So it's a both and, especially when it's being open to everyone and not just people that I know, love, and trust.
Okay. That makes sense. A little skin in the game makes sense for sure. Hold your spot and then, add in what post. I get it. I think that makes a lot of sense, because it is tricky. We deal with that as well when we're trying to, give away the farm. We find that if we don't also require at least a little skin in the game, then how do we know we're giving it to people that are that it's going to, that forward motion is going to keep going? We want to help people that are helping people, and so even if they're not helping us directly back, how do we know that they're helping somebody? That's kind of our addressing that issue is a cornerstone of what our whole platform is based off of. So I'm
exactly. And in fact, I'm just going to say this: it was you who articulated most eloquently. If anyone wants to contribute, everyone has a way they can contribute, either dollars or service hours or recommendations and referrals to others who actually compensate with financial. And so, or other ways. And so if someone truly wants to, and if someone truly needs help and asks for it, happy to make that an exception to the rule, but not the rule. And if someone comes with a certain kind of a posture of how dare you charge so much money, that's a difference than, I was about to say Professor Rashid, amazing, this is such an amazing thing, I really wish that I could participate, but I don't know that I can, but I'd really love to be there if I could. That's a different conversation than, is there something that I might be able to do? And it's a different conversation. I can't believe you're charging this. Those are three different postures, very different postures. And that goes back to the space that brought Mr. X a little bit of that PTSD. And hey, EMDR will help you with that when you're ready for it. But having people who come in with a sense of entitlement and just like demanding, as opposed to being appreciative. And again, how do you get the right people in the room? That's part of it.
For sure. For sure. We are at 4:47 p.m., which means we're opening the Creative Drinking Club in exactly 13 minutes, something like that. So we got to get to this speed round. All right. Now, this is going to be the challenging part here amazing. This is the tricky part, but basically the way this works, the speed round works, is that you are going to give all 8 answers again, but you have to give them as a single sentence. So what we'll do is we'll click through each question, and as soon as you've finished the sentence for that question, we'll click through to the next question, and we have to do it pretty fast. Your answers can be pretty short. They're going to need to be pretty short. And the idea is that you're trapped in an elevator with the one person who could make all of this just go, and they just need to understand what it is completely before that 90-second elevator ride comes to an end. And so this is the speed round of the pitch gauntlet, and we're gonna do this. So I'm just gonna
Pause. Before you start the timer. Are all 8 questions going to be on the screen and I read them and answer them, or you're going to ask them and then I have to answer them and then we go back and forth?
So you've already answered them, so you kind of generally know what they are. I'm only going to put them on a screen as a reminder. You don't have to read them. Just answer them, and as soon as you're there's 2 ways. I'll give you 2 options. We can do it this way. I can do like about 10-11 seconds per question and then click to the next one, so you get 11 seconds for every question. Or I can just wait until you finish your 1-sentence answer for each one and then click to the next one.
I'm going to ask for what I would actually prefer, which is not either of those options.
Okay.
I have the list of questions written on my email, so I would like that you just start the timer and don't say anything and don't show anything and let me answer the questions.
So you know what we're doing right now is awesome, because I forgot that I sent that out, and we don't actually need. That's great, because this was a whole problem before, is timing it was a fiasco. So now we're making things better just by doing. Thank you for being a part of the Co-Creator Incubator. We're going to go ahead and get this started as soon as.
Wait, actually, can you pause so that I have a moment to like get a drink of water, or is that not allowed?
Sure, we will run another. You know what? We're about to do the Creative Drinking Club, so let's just go ahead and run a quick little promo for that, and then we will be back to do this final speed round with Amazing. Hang tight, everybody. Here's a little teaser of what's coming up.
I'm Talanya, everybody.
My dad is in the Air Force.
The Valkyries of Arcadia. What do we got for beverages today?
Okay, so vodka is very extremely disgusting to me.
All right. Okay. We're going to go ahead and recreate all that magic tonight.
Really like the Grinch with the ooh, hi.
Talanya is one of my favorite people.
So I'm excited about that.
I keep waiting for the invite to the big show.
Because I like energy. I love energy. I like having.
Nice to meet you, Rock Talanya. Okay, great.
All right, everybody. We are going to be opening up the Creative Drinking Club in just about 10 minutes from now. But first, we have to do the speed round with Mr. Amazing. As soon as he gets back here, we're going to do that. Is Mr. Amazing back? Are you back, Amazing?
Mr. Amazing is back.
Okay, let's see if we can do this. How do I put you in the screen there? I guess I just do it like this, or like this, or like this. I guess. Where did the thing go? It's right here. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to do it this way. Yeah, because I don't know the button to make it go the way I want it to, unless I do this. Aha! That could maybe work. Let's try that one. Sure. Yeah, not in love with that one. How about this one? Which one do you guys prefer? Oh, this would be good, but I don't have the timer. Where did the timer go? I'm VJing myself. Okay, we'll do it like this. I'm gonna put you right in the center. There you are, Amazing. I don't know. I need a. Oh, now how did that work? That's what I was trying to do with you. How do I get Amazing? Oh, wait a minute. I think I figured it out. Ha 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 ha. I gotta drag you to there,
and then I go to there. That's what I wanted.
We did it! Well, you did it. You did it. We were cheering you on emotionally.
Couldn't have done it
but-
without you because
Fair.
it would have just been me playing with myself in a room alone.
Which many good nights, I'm sure. Many good.
Okay, we're ready for this. Are you ready for this? Amazing. You've got the answers. You got 90 seconds to give us all the answers in single sentences. Again, one sentence per answer. And here we go.
The idea is to help groups of people in a webinar event with EMDR as a group. It is for people of all ages who have accessibility or other issues that would prevent them from coming in person. It is similar to a group therapy session or to a one-on-one counseling without the financial cost for an extremely beneficial, usually expensive service called EMDR. The elements that are needed are tech stack because they do not currently exist in our existing platform. This is an opportunity that the money is invested for those who can afford it, and also the risk is removed so that people aren't averse to the risk by putting the money up front, and they can pay on the back end if they feel they had a great experience, and others in the future can benefit for a lower cost. So it's a win-win-win for us all. My role is the facilitator and the inviter. And the biggest challenge to overcome is identifying the tech stack and inviting the right people who would benefit the most, and inviting people to invite others to ensure that the attendance is wonderful. The definition of success for this idea is many people helped introduced to the concept of EMDR and all the ways that it can benefit them, and that it continues to serve our community forevermore in a more accessible way. Thank you.
He did it. Bing, ding, 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 ding with 5 seconds left. Oh my gosh. Well done. Amazing.
Thank you.
Well done. Amazing. And thank you for the constructive feedback as well, because it's so much better if you just have the questions and then you can just answer them. I don't know why it took us this long to figure that part out, but I think that was great. That was a fantastic pitch. That was a fantastic event. I look forward to bringing that to life. And you have also graduated this idea to the pitch gauntlet. Wait, what now? What? Who? What?
I have a question about the event.
We have a question about the event. Tell us.
When is it?
It has not yet been scheduled, but it will be.
Okay, that's all I was wondering.
That's okay. Yes. So
hold on. Wait. I'm going to say this. Amelia, did you have that question the first round or after the speed round or both?
Both.
Okay, so hold on. Rock, I'm going to say this out loud. When somebody asks, when is this going to be? That means they want to attend. And that means they want to invite other people to come.
Exactly.
And that means that we have a market
which means
for people who want to be there.
Which reminds me, I have one more question for you. How do you want people to contact you if they're interested in this idea, either attending or helping you put it together?
I will put 2 pieces of my contact information out there into the universe for the weirdos when they come, but they're not here yet.
Yeah.
And then everyone else today. empowercaravan@gmail.com, which is my email, and then empowercaravan.com. Empower is spelled like empowerment without the mint. And then caravan, car-a-van, caravan.com, and then @gmail.com.
Did I do it right? Hold on. This.
And I'm going to say this while I'm here, Amelia. I could definitely see EMDR, group EMDR at your event at the beginning as a way to help people to be aligned with the thing that you mentioned as an obstacle. I'm going to email that to you anyway. But
wait, is it empower or empower? E-N or E-M?
Empower, like empowerment. Like think about the word.
Right.
I had it right?
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm just going to.
E-M power.
Yeah, caravan. There we go. LLC.
I like that idea though. Amazing. That's a really great idea. I was thinking of including some kind of introduction to kind of help ground and help establish a little bit of alignment in everyone. I really like that idea.
It's almost as if we're all in this together at the same time, at the same place, with aligning ideas and visions and goals and aspirations for the world. And it's almost like Mixdeity brought us together so that we could do such a thing.
Almost.
As a great man once said, "Ring a ding ding." Think about it. Think about it. Read into it whatever you want. It means nothing. But it can mean anything, which isn't that the dichotomy of life? I don't know. We're getting into it now. It is 4:58 p.m., which means the Creative Drinking Club is opening. Are you here for the Creative Drink Club, my friend? You want to help us star 10 tonight? Are you gonna hit up the open mic tonight? The man's taking it easy. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick things off. Well, actually, we're closing things down with the Creative Drink Club. But first, I just want to make sure everybody understands. Empowercaravan@gmail.com, empowercaravan.com. If you would like to be connected to Amazing's idea and to get connected to either attending or being a part of it or whatnot. And of course, we also have Amelia's idea from earlier, which we are where the Amelia Beneke. That's one of these things. I don't have the button for that right now, but anyway, the point is it's already up there. You can scroll and you're gonna get it. And I want to thank everybody for coming on the show today.
So wait, Rob, do both of these ideas now end up on the discovery board, or they go into the incubator, or they go somewhere? Could you repeat?
Yeah.
What happens from here?
So what happens next once you have graduated the pitch gauntlet, like both of these talented geniuses have? And as soon as I need to just
I'm trying to. There we go. Amelia, you got to do the thing. Rock is much better at this.
In the Co-Creator Incubator is once you've graduated the pitch gauntlet, it just means that now we are satisfied. You can communicate your idea and articulate it to anybody. And you have. It's on video. We've captured it. Now people can discover this idea on the discovery board. If they're selecting wellness events, if they're selecting whatever they're selecting, if your idea is in wellness, then it'll come up as pitches of ideas that people can get involved with in wellness or whatever category they chose. The next step is to start finding your team. In order to activate your project in the Co-Creator Incubator, you need 2 people who want to essentially say, yeah, I'm on board to help with this idea. And then once you have a team of 3 people ready to go, then we can officially plug it in and activate it and get you to the next step, so on and so forth. Now that's for fully incubated ideas. If you are doing a collabs are a little bit simpler. You don't have to build a team. The collab is essentially just a partnership between us, and you more or less do what you're going to do, and we just kind of help you fill in the blanks. A full incubation is we're helping you launch a career, a campaign, a business, something that is sort of a long form structure. For something that's a short form structure, we just kind of help fill in the blanks, and it's a bit simpler. So that's how the Co-Creator Incubator works. That's how the discovery board works. That's hopefully you can now share this pitch with people who might be interested in it. You can say, hey, I'd love to have some, if you're interested in collaborating on this project, come to it. Other people can also discover it there. The goal is to connect people to your ideas, to their resources, to your resources, to our resources, and just get that co-creation incubation happening. And so that's the next step of the incubator.
And if, for example, I wanted to support Amelia and join as her team member number 2 on her idea on the discovery board, I would log in, go to the discovery board, click some sort of a button, I'm sure, over there and say, hey, Amelia, I want to help you with this. And I could take that link and then share it with other people inside or outside of the ecosystem and say, hey, Johnny, actually, hey, Joandith, I think you would really appreciate being a part of this. I'm going to send you this link, upvote it inside of her thing, and then that would create our team of 3. And
actually,
then she gets
that would be awesome, but it's actually way simpler than that. You just come and tell us when you've got a couple people that want to be on board. When you're like, yeah, I've got 2 people who are totally down. We say, okay. You just tell us. And then they would check in on the ecosystem so that we have their info, and then we can send out messages to the group.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're the team leader, so we're pretty much just going to be communicating with you and letting you know whatever it is that you need. We'll fill in the blanks and do the things. But find us 2 people who are like, yeah, we want this to happen. And so the idea is that a good place to find those people is at our events. So come to our events, come to Takeover Tuesday, come to Final Friday, mingle with these people, say, yeah, my pitch is on the board. Check it out. You can bring it up at any time right there on the website. And they can, if they didn't see the show that day, they can see your pitch. And then when you've got a couple people that you believe are the right people to like be on your team, and that you believe that they're probably going to show up and do the thing, whatever it is, then you come to us, you say, I think I've got my team. And then we say, okay, let's activate this.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then
All
after
right.
it's been activated,
Then what happens is you essentially we start doing weekly meetings. An activated project gets a weekly meeting on you're in the developing phase of the incubator. And essentially at that point, we just check in with you on a regular basis and find out what is, what's the challenges this week? What are we trying to get? What problems are we trying to solve? How did last week go? It's just more of a mentorship thing. And we just kind of keep tabs on you and see if the people, do we need to get new people? Do we need to get new resources? Did we get the place? Like, we just have a checklist. What are all the things we need to do? And let's get through this checklist. We work with you on that. And once everything's checked off, we got everything figured out, then we launch the project and we put you in our pipeline for promotion. We put you all depending on how big the project is. If you need lawyers and you need contracts and you need investment money, then we bring it into that phase to get all of that stuff, organized and put together until basically we complete the development phase, when we know everything we're going to do and who's going to do it and when it's going to happen and how much it's going to cost, and all of those checklists are done. And then we go to the delivery phase, where we just activate it, just hit the button and make it go. And then we market the shit out of it and we push it and we just do the thing. Most of delivery is just showing up and marketing.
it really sounds like you are, by going into this incubation process, you're getting a mentorship, accountability support, resource support, everything you could possibly need to take your idea from an idea, a pitch that we just had in a 3-minute conversation, 15-minute conversation, to its actual fulfillment with support and resources every step of the way. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's exactly what it is, but there is a catch. In order to keep your project active in the incubator, you have to also be helping out other people on their projects, or the Mixdeity team with its overall project. So that's a co-creator status. That's 16 dirhams a month. Keeps you active as a co-creator, which keeps your project active in the incubator as well. So we want to help you. We just need to make sure you're also helping other people. And as long as that circle is happening, then everybody wins.
And actually, I'm gonna be the first one to say, Amelia, I'm gonna help you make that thing happen. That's like already a done deal.
Thank you. And I want to help you make yours happen. So please let me know what I can assist with.
Absolutely.
It works. It works. It's alive. All right, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, tonight it's Takeover Tuesday. We are here at the Media Cafe in little 5 Points. I'm gonna real quick announce tonight's takeover. Tonight's takeover is the open mic, because I don't think we booked the takeover for tonight. So the open mic will be taken over tonight. The Creative Drinking Club is open now. It is 5:06. Creative Drinking Club, today's specialty drink is, it's a simple one. It's simply lemonade. That's right. Today's specialty drink in the Creative Drinking Club is lemonade. I'm going to go ahead and pour myself some. I am the star tender for tonight, and I will be on the open mic tonight, performing some of my music, as well as some friends or whoever else shows up. We might live stream it, we might not, but I hope to see y'all here at Little 5 Points at the Media Cafe. And I want to say thanks to Amazing. Thank you to Amelia. Really, really appreciate you guys being here and sharing your time and your energy and your ideas. Thank you for X the Flare for being here as well. Hello, sir. Welcome. And it looks like we got the crew rolling in, so it's time to call it a day on the live cast. We're going to log off, but we'll see you here tonight, and have a great day. I gotta work on my sign off.
Peace.